All right. Good morning, everybody. Well, it's a pretty good morning. It's a beautiful morning, but we lost a good one yesterday, so we've got a lot to talk about this morning. But first, guys, Ozzy fucking Osbourne died.
I think Patrick Brown sums it up perfectly, and the fact that Ozzy made it to 76 with his lifestyle is pretty amazing. I would agree. He lived as long and fruitful a life as an extreme alcoholic can. Okay, he gives people like me hope, because Ozzy Osbourne effectively cleared out an entire distillery from the year 1977 to 1985. All right, the man consumed an entire lifetime of three people of booze intake in those 7 years. All right, now
I remember watching an interview with Ozzy a long time ago, and they asked him what was the first thing he did when he had real money, when he got his first big royalty check from doing music. He said, "I went and bought a pair of shoes. Never had them before." Like, Jesus Christ, man. You're talking about rags to riches, ultimate rags to riches story. And then I've got this clip. It's a 2.5 minute clip. I don't think we'll play the whole thing, but we'll see. This was put together by news.com.au, tribute to Ozzy, and it's all clips from his last concert, which was quite recently. And it was all the drugs, all the alcohol, all the crazy hard partying lifestyle, likely major contributors, but it was the Parkinson's apparently that got him. And I've seen Ozzy in concert.
I was going to say we saw him live in 2000. We saw him live in 2007.
I was about to say, that was the last time. That was the last time I saw him. That was Ozfest in San Jose.
Yeah, I was there with you.
We had a blast there. And remember, First Sergeant Messenger and Captain Fergal J. O'Reilly were there with us.
Yep.
And I remember Top and the CO commenting, "Well, we're not doing a pest test for a fucking month after this."
No shit.
I was like, "Yo, Captain, I'm not doing anything. I'm cool. I had a couple of beers. I'm not." He said, "Oh, that may be, but just the sticky cloud here, it's got us all. We're fucked."
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, yeah, exactly. Because wherever you went there, you could smell weed the entire time. Okay, and I'm talking like the stickiest weed. Okay, the type that leaves a film on your face, and you can just lick it later.
Like you ever walk into a house that's so nasty, the smell is tangible, and you feel like you want to brush your teeth as soon as you walk out of the house. The whole place was like that, thick with pot smoke.
Yep, indeed.
And I think like 25% of our unit was actually at that concert. We had a blast, and that was the show where I think it was System of a Down was on stage, and I went into a mosh pit, and somebody stepped on my heel and broke one of my flip flops, or it was a like Tiva sandal, the full wrap around the ankle, Velcro shit, and that's how Mario and I became the stars of the Monday morning safety brief. And for those of you who don't know, it is very unusual to have a safety brief on Monday morning.
Bring appropriate footwear. Indeed. Yep.
But like I said, I'm not going to play the whole video. I want to skip to the end here.
Oh, I was reading a...
Come on! Thank you. God bless you all. That's good night.
So I was reading.
This was Ozzy's last sign off. Is what I wanted to show.
Got it.
So go ahead.
I was reading some commentary yesterday. People asking, where do you think Ozzy went? Heaven or hell? Right? And the top-rated comment was, well, his last public appearance was in Birmingham, so regardless, he went to a better place.
So that's good.
Yep.
And in a lot of ways, for a guy like Ozzy, they may be the same thing.
Yep. And Cam says, "Rip Ozzy, front row Ozfest tickets were some of the best." Yeah, Even though Ozzy back in 2007 was still he was a shambling. He was a wreck of a man, a shell of his former self. But the lineup that he put together, and Ozfest went on for almost 2 decades. Okay. It was a good show. They always put on a good show. They always had kind of the best collection of bands at the time, right? And bands of yesteryear. So.
And I went to an Ozfest every year from 1997 to like you said 2007.
Mm-hmm. That was my first. I haven't been in many mosh pits, okay, but the Ozfest one I was in was memorable because apparently the crowd understood something I didn't. Like there was Avenged Sevenfold or something was playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm in there fucking, I'm a physical unit at the time, all right, so I could handle myself, and I'm throwing my body around back and forth, knocking people around, okay, getting knocked myself, good time. And then Black Label Society took the stage, and then a whole bunch of people cleared out of the pit, and I'm just standing there like, yeah, whatever, dude. And then I realized oh, now all the skinheads are getting into there. And then the music starts, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is a problem. These guys ain't fucking around. I'm like, they're doing
this is a different audience.
Yeah, these guys have this stuff choreographed. Like they practiced, okay? They're doing tag team moves, okay? Like Colossus and Wolverine, where big skinhead throws the little skinhead, literally, at people.
I love those mosh pits.
And I'm like, I'm going to the edge of the pit, like trying to get out, and the crowd's pushing me back in, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to get out. You guys are a little too intense for me. Yep. But regardless.
Here's Ozzy's final message to the fans.
It's been going for me, My wife worked her ass up for a year to get it all organized. And a guy called Tom Morello, who organized all the bands, people like that, make concerts happen. And I don't know what to say, man. I've been laid up for fucking 6 years. And it's so, you've got no idea how I feel. Man, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And unfortunately, we come to our final song for ever. I just want to say to you on behalf of the guys in Black Sabbath and myself, that your support over the years has made it all possible for us to live the lifestyle we live. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. I love you, we love you. Go fucking crazy, last time! Come on! Finish with my woman, cause she couldn't help it. Revive my people think I'm insane because I am drowning all the time. Come on! Whoa! Alright, shout it out! Thank you, God bless you all. That's good night from Black Sabbath.
Yep.
Thank you and God bless you all. That's good night from Black Sabbath. Man, that's
if people who don't know,
he's one of the greats. I mean, he the man invented what we think of today as heavy metal.
Yes, Black Sabbath was your core, like your foundational dark metal, like heavy metal band. Okay.
Razor Fist did a great video on this last night that I watched. About an hour
he did
before the
something
show.
on Ozzy.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta
Already.
watch that. I gotta watch that.
And one of the things he mentions is, if there's a professional impersonator out there for every other member of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 guys emulating Lemmy and all the others, but there's nobody out there who is emulating Ozzy Osbourne for his style, for the way he sings, the way he crafts lyrics, et cetera, et cetera. And Razor pointed out it's because Ozzy Osbourne is not a heavy metal singer. He's not, for the genre that he invented. Every other singer is very different. He is unique in the genre that he invented because he created heavy metal, but at his core, he's actually a blues singer.
I can see that.
I had to think about that for a minute when he said that. I was like, you know what? You're right. Nobody sings like Ozzy because nobody has a blues style voice in the heavy metal world. That was a brilliant observation by Razor.
Of the classic rock pantheon, Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger was also a blues singer. Okay, there's a direct correlation between the blues. Okay, blues and rockabilly essentially are what the foundations of rock and roll. Okay, and depending on whether it's more on the rockabilly side, the bluegrass kind of Appalachian music, or the Southern Delta blues, right, is kind of where the different categories, okay, of rock and roll come from. So there's a definite etymology behind it.
We're always beat over the head with this obnoxious assertion that white men stole rock and roll from the black man, and it's okay. Have you never heard a Celtic war hymn, or a Celt's dirge, or a pirate's sea shanty?
Yeah,
black African tribal, they didn't have stringed instruments, and to the extent that they had any wind instruments, they're very basic horns, like a flippin' shofar, right? They didn't have bagpipes and accordions and pianos and banjos and fiddles and violins and guitars. They sure as hell didn't bring what amounted to an armored orchestra onto the battlefield. That's not how they rolled. That comes from the giant, scary, blue-eyed murder machines for whom the Pope was asked for reinforcements by his cavalry, who came and said, we need more men here because there are blue devils who eat the dead. They cut our horses from under us and consume our dead. And
if you listen to
we play a mean motherfucking guitar.
Yeah, and if you listen to those, I forgot what they're called, but the Carnacs or whatever, right? The Celtic trumpet that's got the dog head on it, and the tongue ululates, and it makes this terrifying sound. Yeah, if you hear multiple of those together, like on a hillside, basically echoing down in a valley, that's fucking metal. That's like precursor to heavy metal, like drum or bass lines. All right,
Mongolian death metal has got nothing on the March of Cambria.
Yeah. Cam says all music is derived. Period. Yes, music is basically grows upon what previous iterations of music were. Okay, there's no. Yeah, it's notes. It's actually mathematics.
The point is that no music is derived from Africa.
That is correct. That is correct. Well, okay. The guy in the subway.
They are as much the masters of the horn as they are the masters of the sea.
The guy in the subway who's beating a 5-gallon bucket with some sticks, that's Africa. Okay. Well, I'll give him that. That's fine.
And hey, in all fairness, the guy in the subway that's got 6 buckets and some sticks, he's doing some amazing shit.
That's some elite.
But all he's doing is percussion.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
so Oh, I think that's enough on Ozzy. We could probably move on to the first story of the morning, and we're going to talk about the Russiagate. We ought to just start calling it Obamagate.
Just rest in peace, Ozzy. You were one of the greats. All right, moving on. So,
ferried on to the afterlife by an angel with bat wings.
Chain smoking, yes. With
a chain smoking angel with bat wings.
Yes. All right. So on Monday, this story really developed over the weekend. Okay, and we wanted to kind of get on it, kind of strike while it's hot Monday morning, and we did. But there have been some new developments. Okay. All right. The first one being kind of the role of B. Hussein Obama, okay, aka Barry Soetoro, all right, the role that he played in the Russiagate scandal. Well, it turns out Tulsi released yesterday, or they declassified yesterday, some memos that come directly from the president's desk. All right, Barack Obama was directly involved and directly ordered the creation of a new assessment, because remember the original assessment from the IC, all right, in the months prior to the inauguration of Trump, was that Russia had any efforts that Russia made to interfere with the U.S. election, okay, were either basically ineffective, okay, or non-existent, okay. Basically, it didn't happen, and if it did, it wasn't effective, right? They're claiming there was evidence that Russia was trying to manipulate voter databases in Illinois, of all places. Like, really, Illinois. Like, if I'm going to try to throw a U.S. election,
if I'm going to try to steal an election for a Republican,
I'm going. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm investing $0 and 0 hackers, 0 keystrokes are being invested on Illinois. I'll tell you that. Okay. We're going all in on like Michigan, Nevada.
You're more likely to find interference in favor of Republicans in like California and New York than you are in Illinois.
It's like putting all your money on Beto. You don't do it. So anyway, so any attempts Russia made to interfere with the election were ineffective, right? But Obama actually ordered the creation of a new intelligence assessment prior to Trump's inauguration, and this would go on like while Trump was in office, of course, basically laying the seeds for the scandal.
Real quick, Mario, here's what I'm not entirely clear on. Okay, we on Monday we looked at the Substack from Matt Taibbi that pointed out the couple of memos where there was the memo from the IC that said there's no evidence at all. There is 0 evidence that Russia attempted any kind of electronic manipulation of voting machines or any kind of hacking. There is some evidence that they may have invested in media campaigns to try and sway public opinion, but there's no evidence. And this is according to the IC. Like, this is before the Mueller report or any of that shit. This is before Obama made the claim. It's before Hillary Clinton made the claim that Russia stole the election for Donald Trump. The IC reported that there's no evidence that Russia had been doing any of the hacking that they were accused of. Now, that was removed or precluded from the presidential's daily intelligence brief. What I'm not clear on is whether Obama ever saw that information at all, or if he ordered it removed from the brief. And the reason that I'm not clear on that at this point is because we now know that despite having seen that information in some format, he went on to directly order that the contravening information be manufactured.
Yeah, and that would be B. Hussein Obama's best defense going forward, that he was effectively duped. All right, so no, Obama did not direct that the previous intelligence assessment that Russia was a non-factor. Okay, he did not order that be removed from the presidential daily brief on December 8th. Okay, why? How could he? Why would he? Right? That's like his morning paper. You know what I mean? by common sense, or by I just assume that president didn't order something removed from his own daily brief. Okay, that kind of doesn't really make sense.
Unless
So
it's
you're
done
asking,
for the explicit purpose of maintaining plausible deniability.
but I mean, it's kind of irrelevant, because on December 9th, all right, or on December 9th, then he would have, they had the meeting with Brennan and basically all the key members in the IC, all right, CIA, FBI, NSA, all right, and DNI. They had that and Hillary was there as well. They had that meeting where they hashed out what the game plan was going to be for this Russia investigation, which they were going to launch to stymie President Trump's first term. Okay, so was Obama duped? I guarantee if there's any indictment of Obama, that's going to be one part of his defense. Okay, and two, they're gonna use the claim that because SCOTUS said that Trump couldn't be prosecuted for actions taken within the official scope of his duties. You know what I mean? That Obama could not be prosecuted for that as well.
Yeah, and that's of
using
course
that
bullshit.
Trump defense. But it's also,
that's of course bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
because fucking over the next guy isn't part of your official duties. Exactly.
Correct. Let me pull up that SCOTUS decision.
Mm-hmm. TPS agrees. He says no one is clear. All they've said is that it was removed based on further guidance. It'd be interesting to find out who that guidance came from. Yeah, you're going to have to subpoena people to figure that out. Okay. So, or if there's more stuff to declassify, I guess that's up to Tulsi. But bottom line is, there's enough stink, okay, on Obama's fingers to assume that he had some direct manipulation or direct guidance on going forward, what the IC was supposed to do. All right. What was I going to say? Oh, darn it. I hate it when this happens. Stupid brain. Hurry up. Okay, my mind collapsed. And also, it was revealed yesterday that Ben Rhodes, all right, he was Obama's chief advisor. All right, remember this guy is like he's kind of like what Steve Bannon is to Donald Trump. All right, Ben Rhodes would be to Barack Obama. He's not really a professional politician. He doesn't come from the professional lobbying circles. He was a creative writing major, right? Basically, just an ideas guy. All right. He was Obama's close advisor, and he was the one. It was revealed he's the one who was leaking the false intelligence assessments to CBS News. Okay, because the moment they decided to put this plan into action, this Russiagate plan in action, all right, to discredit Trump, to stymie him, the leaks of the fake intelligence assessments started going out to the media, and it was being leaked by Ben Rhodes to his brother, who was an executive at CBS News. Okay, so we know that now, which is telling. So Ben Rhodes might want to seek legal counsel immediately, because if they don't prosecute Obama, and I doubt they will, because it's just too bold. It's too bold to play. All right. People like Ben Rhodes, who are not like part of the elite DC swamp circle, like those are the type of people who would get rolled up and who they would fuck them over for sure. Okay. I want to see John Brennan, former CIA director, imprisoned. That's what I really want to see. That would
absolutely
that would warm my heart. I despise that man. Like he hates us. You and I and anyone who watches the show, John Brennan despises us. He is an
what was it, 2013 that he perjured himself about Americans being spied on by the NSA?
That was ODNI John Clapper. Okay.
Oh, Clapper. You're right.
Who perjured himself regarding the scope of PRISM, the program PRISM, right, which was bulk metadata collection. and that stuff
Dude,
never stopped, man.
what do you? On a moderately related note, I just started watching the show Person of Interest. I've watched a little bit of it before, but I just started the series from the beginning, and I don't know if you ever watched it, Mario, but the basic premise is, after 9/11, of course, we got the Patriot Act, and the Patriot Act is basically Congress saying, you know what, we've decided that because terrorism, fuck the Fourth Amendment, it just doesn't exist anymore. And the show Person of Interest, basically it's about the fictional character who created this giant panopticon machine that reads all the emails and phone calls and text messages. It reads all your communications, and it's plugged into all the CCTV feeds, and it can track you by your cell phone. It can read your communications. It can find you with facial recognition. Yeah. And something, Mario, this will strike you, I think, in the same way that it struck me. When this show came out, that level of surveillance was science fiction. It did not exist. As far as the world, as far as the normie civilian world was concerned, that level of surveillance was science fucking fiction. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this, but realizing the time frame on the show and the level of surveillance that they're talking about as if it's science fiction, it was interesting to me to see that the show came out in 2011, which means it was being produced in 2009 and 10.
The CIA has a long history of doing soft reveals, right, through television, through media. Okay, particularly movies and TV.
Predictive programming. Right?
Yeah. Exactly, the predictive programming. I'll touch on that in a moment. Okay, I remembered what I brain farted about earlier. The bottom line is with Obama, as far as his personal direction, okay, personal or direct or indirect, okay, direction of this Russiagate scandal. This is not. It's not a scenario like back in 20 or 2000, like in 2008, okay, 2008, 2009, where he was, where it was like Lois Lerner, the FBI scandal, where they were either slow walking or denying for spurious reasons, 501c designation for conservative political action groups, okay, conservative NGOs. It was not a will someone rid me of this troublesome priest, where there was no direct connection between Obama and Lois Lerner's actions and the actions therefore of the FBI. Okay, so Obama is directly implicated in this Russiagate scandal, unlike in the Lois Lerner IRS scandal from years prior. Okay, now, as to the level of technology regarding government collection, okay, and how it was science fiction just 10 years ago. Yeah, well, I mean, why do you think they're building all these AI data centers? Why do you think they're building AI data centers, okay, to the point of basically bringing the Eastern Seaboard's power grid to a collapse, okay? The Eastern Seaboard is barely able to provide power, all right, for its constituency due to the implementation of these huge server farm AI data centers is what they're called. Okay, why are they building these things? It's quite simple. They want to record literally everything on the internet, everything. Okay, and it's not that they're going to be actively targeting necessarily people in regards to daily collection of all internet activity, but they want to have it saved. That way, if you become a person of interest to them, then they, with a simple keystroke, they can pull up everything you ever did on the internet. Okay, which gives, I mean, you want to talk about blackmail potential? That's even greater than like Epstein. That's even greater than like Diddy. If they can pull up everything you ever did on the internet, they can and then have like AI, like you do in the ramp up to the show sometimes, Chris, where you ask the AI to kind of like break down a summary of topics to be suggested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just with the AI itself can basically like some digital, Soviet agent Beria, okay, concoct a perfect indictment of you, all right, at the personal level of how you can be destroyed and how you can be blackmailed. Okay, it's total control. It's the panopticon you spoke of, and it's all integrated. It will all be integrated with Palantir, so that it can be actioned. So,
Yeah.
yes. If there was ever a time to be a Luddite, all right, and smash the machines, it is now.
Oh yeah, hey brother, no shit. We're clearing acreage back here. We're clearing off chunks of the property for building a little private park with benches, and gonna do some things with some beehives for Vera. And if I think I'm about ready to just pick a spot and build a frickin' 100 square foot fucking Faraday cage.
You get a 300 square foot?
100 square foot. I think that'll be big enough.
Yeah. So you're going to turn your cuck shed into a cuck skiff. You're going
No. That'll be the cuck skiff will be a separate facility over there.
Based.
I'll have the AI do up a three-dimensionally rendered rooster with an assault rifle and body armor, and buy a 3D printer, make that shit out of lead, and put it right on top of the Faraday cage.
Nice.
You mentioned about the East Coast. The United States is a large country by physical area.
Yes.
And you hear about the flyover states and how nobody lives out there, and the individual population of many of the Midwestern states where a lot of the food is grown and all that is many of those are 5 million or less for states population out of 300 and something around 340 million is the most recent census, like 340 to 350. A little more than a third, almost 40% of the population of the United States lives on the East Coast. Right? They live in the states that comprise the coast.
Yeah, 13 original colonies and Florida.
Yep. That is the majority of not the majority, the plurality. About 40%. So not quite half of the population lives on the East Coast. And all of the comms up and down the East Coast are handled in 3 nodes. I used to live near one of them. It's one of the principal reasons that it is actually on the list of reasons. I like to say, and that's why we moved to the middle of nowhere. But this is absolutely one of the reasons we moved to the middle of nowhere. We used to live near an AT&T central facility that it handles 1/3 of the communications for the Eastern Seaboard. That makes that community a major strategic and tactical target. Not to mention the CDC in Atlanta. I don't want to be anywhere near that shit when stuff goes wrong.
Yeah, right.
And now I'm not.
We saw The Walking Dead. We don't.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, TPS report says, I see these Faraday cages in movies, and they're always full of computers and comms, which means an internet connection is coming in, which defeats the entire purpose. Incorrect. So what you're seeing there, Alex, when you're looking at a Faraday cage that's being used as a secure comms location, what the internet connection that's coming in is a hardwired connection. The point of the Faraday cage is to prevent signal intercept. So you don't have electronic radio signals going in and out of the cage. You've got that hardwire coming in, and that's a completely different creature. Basically, the only thing more secure than that is what we call an air gap system, which is essentially the Faraday cage with the computer in it without an external data source. A properly a legit secure air gap system is basically your power generator and your system are all inside the Faraday cage. There are no wires at all that enter the system, right? So, a basic Faraday cage, if you don't have any, like what I was talking about,
it's not perfect, but it limits it.
If I was just to throw a Faraday cage back there with some park benches in it so that the boys could sit around and plot the downfall of Western civilization or whatnot, and the rule is you leave all your phones up at the house, or you drop them all in this Faraday box that's outside of the Faraday cage, that would in fact be an air gapped skiff room. And even that is not perfect. There are tricks. There are dirty ass tricks.
Nothing's perfect. You can just, I can Celex we can just put a Celex device in the box that you put all your cell phones in.
Or I could run a high power shotgun microphone nearby. You talk about an air gap computer system inside of the Faraday cage. I need a high power directional microphone nearby to record the sound of the computer, and I can convert the data rate spin of the hard drive noise into the original binary code of the machine reading those ones and zeros.
Jesus Christ. Okay, you need national level assets.
I shit you not. There is software for that. There is software for that.
Yeah. And I mean, you need national level assets so that are going to emit like instant cancer levels of energy to do that. But yeah, it can be done, I guess. Santa Steven asks if a Faraday cage will protect against EMP. Yeah, if it's reinforced enough. I mean, if you
it's kind of like asking if a Kevlar vest will protect against bullets. Like, well, I don't know. Are we talking 9 mil or 50 cal?
Yeah, how much? How much?
So the answer is yes, ish.
Yeah, but there's a scale. Yeah.
And Alex, you're correct. You're correct. You can shoot it through multiple VPNs, but it terminates where it terminates. That's correct. If you're actually connected outside, like I said, air gap system, you don't have anything connected outside. You got to get somebody on the ground close enough with a microphone to breach that. But then you don't have an internet connection to work with.
I'd kind of summarize it like all security, okay, whether it be physical or whether it be digital, okay, is basically a game of mitigation. All right, there's always a way. Okay, it's just the point is to make it as difficult as possible. So nothing is perfect. All right. So Hunter
Speaking
Biden,
of nothing being perfect, Cam says thanks for detailing the shown TPS.
I don't know what Cam's talking about, and to be honest, I gave him like 2 shout outs, and that's more than he's worth. So if you want to move on, we can talk about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden came out and did a very candid interview over the weekend where
that's one way to put
it. Where he let you know exactly what he thought about the Democrat Party. Okay, you have to understand, Hunter Biden's pretty salty. Now he's salty and he's arrogant. If I was Hunter, okay, and I basically got off from at minimum a decade of essentially smash and grab operation style grifting, I would be shutting the fuck up. I might disappear. I would disappear into the mountains. Okay.
Yeah.
Be Hunter Biden with a really nice kind of.
The thing that has kept Hunter out of jail is not that nobody believes he's guilty of the things we think he did. Mm-hmm. Nobody thinks Hunter didn't do all the bad shit he did. Right? There are some people out there that think he only did lots of drugs and hookers. And they don't, and maybe they don't buy into the sophisticated bagman and massive human trafficking operations that he was obviously involved in, for which there is copious evidence on the laptops. But nobody thinks he's a good guy.
Hunter at a bare minimum was, if you want access to the Biden administration, or if you want access to the Biden/Clinton mafia, okay, Hunter's the guy you pay. That much is certain. Whether it be whether you're buying his Dadaist, his like Dadaist art, okay, or you know what I mean, or whether you're buying his art, which looks like a sixth grader with a spirograph, okay, like making pretty designs, you know what I mean, or you're directly paying him to sit on your corporate board. Hunter Biden is the way that you get money to the Biden mafia, all right, and then you'll get your political favors in return. So, anyway, about this interview.
Yeah, just so you guys are tracking on that, like, this is some of Hunter Biden's art, right? This is, obviously the only way anybody's buying this trash is because they're laundering money for drug trafficking.
That's like stuff I painted when I was in rehab. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, So that's where we are on that. Oh, here you go.
And you would have the Speaker Emeritus that would say, well, I'm going to leave it up to, but I don't know. And they had already made a decision. They had clearly made a decision. And when I say they, I mean the Speaker. And, I heard Alexander Pelosi say something, call my like, put your big girl pants on to my mom or something. And I kind of feel like saying, who the fuck do you think you are? I would never speak about your mom that way.
Yeah.
I would never speak about your father that way. I would never insult your parents that way. Even to this day, I would never. And you would have the.
Yeah, so yes. The Speaker made a decision.
So the reason Biden dropped out of the campaign was Nancy Pelosi. Okay, the greatest day trader in the history of the New York Stock Exchange, Nancy Pelosi, was so. Yeah, so Nancy Pelosi is essentially in control of the Democrat Party at the highest level. Is what you can understand, what you can extrapolate from this man's interview. What the fuck is this? Is this? He looks like he's doing like an early 2000s video for like College Humor or something. What is he wearing?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like we took in a time machine and went back to the set of The Whitest Kids You Know. It doesn't matter who he is. He's a nobody. But yeah, what Hunter is revealing here is you can. He's in his imperfect way. He's giving you insight directly into the heart of the DNC. You want to go to the next clip?
Yeah.
All right.
But fuck him. Fuck him and everybody around him. I don't have to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking, I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his fucking life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the fucking New York Times to me and James Carter?
That's enough of that. And you know what? That right there. Here's a takeaway. Hey, he mentioned his father giving 52 years of service to the country.
More like the United States was generous enough to give him 52 years of paychecks.
Politicians are just welfare recipients.
Yep. You could argue that.
52 years of service to the country. Service to the country.
Yep.
It's supposed to be a service position. They refer to themselves as national leadership. No. You're not national leadership. You are my fucking HR department. At best.
Yeah, as long as you're not like some autistic introvert, and the idea of public speaking terrifies you, politician is about the easiest job you could get. It's the most lucrative job and the easiest job you could get. Okay, you don't have to do anything. You have underlings that do it for you. You're just the signature, and the face that lies to the public.
And hey, fair play. We can say all these things about politicians generally. I still might run for office one day.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what, Mario? I should run for office. You and I should both run for office. Any office. Doesn't matter. President, dog catcher, whatever. Right? Just to force the Democrat Party to run Oppo research, which essentially turns into them boosting the algorithmic viewership and distribution of the Brushfire Mind. I could run for just about any office, and some Democrats going to come out and they're going to show clips. Hell, they'll grab clips from the show about
any of the deep dives, any of them.
Any of the deep
oh
dives.
My God, it'd be exactly. It would be that's actually a great idea.
Rogan.
That's a great idea. They would be creaming themselves just watching a handful of episodes. Like, oh my God, it's never been
unfathomably based.
I can't believe this. Exactly. Be like, within 30 minutes they put together like a 5-minute hit piece on me where it's like, Mario wants to re-enslave the black man in America. And then they play a clip where it's literally me saying that, like, oh well, so that's the end of my campaign. Meanwhile,
all of a sudden we've run out of spiteful mutant troons because they'd all die of a heart attack just off the mere shock of discovering that white men still exist.
Yeah, and as I'm being excoriated in the media, meanwhile, the Brushfire Mind has shot up to the very top of the recommended page on Rumble.
And Rumble's the only one that matters.
And then I quit my job and I live off of internet money.
And y'all, I say Rumble's the only one that matters. I'm looking at the numbers right now across the top of the screen. It looks like there's one person watching on YouTube. See if I can see who that freeloader is. Hey, it's Fish and Golf, who already popped over to Rumble. So Fish and Golf's just pulling double duty. That's not freeloading. That's killing it. So thanks for that, brother.
By the way,
on X right now, hold on. On X, we've got a dozen people watching over on X. Hey, you X viewers, you should get over to Rumble. If you guys get over to Rumble, the dozen or so of you that are watching on X right now, if I see the numbers tick up and it shows me that most of y'all have come over here and a few of you drop some comments in the chat, I'll give away a free membership this morning.
Pit Denny asks, who's the Fed in the chat?
If you have to ask, it's you.
It appears the mania, the alcohol-induced schizophrenia of David Siver has in fact infected you. Okay, maybe that was his point all along. Fucking Fed. Okay, so we got one more clip of beautiful bean footage of Hunter Biden. You want to drop that one?
Yeah. Where is it?
It'd be the third article.
Is it? It's in the article?
Embedded within. Yes. Yep.
There it is.
All right.
Okay. Bear with me a second while I set that up.
Patrick Brown commenting on HR, you say? Then the quickest way to expose them would be a Coldplay concert. Yeah. I didn't even watch that, but I mean, I get it. It's part of the local zeitgeist, part of the current zeitgeist, if you will.
The mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times. Yeah. I know exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times. Yeah. He's 81 years old. He's tired as shit. They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights. And I know exactly what happened in that debate.
So
yeah,
you know what?
I kind of agree with him. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point. Biden was old and sick and tired. He was, one might say, too old and sick and tired to be running a major the country.
Yeah.
Any country, let alone the United States.
He was. I commented. I said multiple times during the Biden administration that President Joseph the Robinette Biden, okay, is not your president. He is merely a signature, okay, to approve of basically whatever his cabinet is doing. Okay, 11 of whom were dual citizens. All right. Turns out it was actually worse than that. He wasn't even the signature. The signature itself was automated for him. Okay.
Yep.
Biden was not your president at all. It was ruled by committee. It was ruled by a committee of dual citizens.
He was not. He was not legitimately elected. The only thing he ever signed apparently was Hunter Biden's ridiculous pardon.
Yep.
And he was making none of the decisions.
Which I'm not even
decisions that were being made. Like Mario just said, 11 of those decisions were made by people with dual citizenship. Dad and I were talking about this the other day, Mario. Dual citizenship, if you have dual citizenship, and this is a basic statement about a complex issue. I understand that, and we can talk about that for a minute. In fact, I might just run a short here so I can go get some coffee because I'm out. Do you have a hard out this morning, Mario?
Well, I need to get another cup of coffee as well then.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to give you guys a short. I don't have the coffee. You know what? You guys are going to watch our short film, Coffee, while we go get coffee.
When I say dual citizen, that's an algorithmically acceptable term for something else.
It is, but it is not just that, because they're not the only dual citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, we'll get into that in just
play the clip. Play the clip.
And since you guys have clearly been missing our dear friend Cameron, Mario, you shithead, you didn't turn your camera off.
Just need one small coffee, please. Ma'am,
Well, I'm back. Yeah. Kind of sad, really.
Hold up. Oh, we're waiting to see how long he'll keep going before I say something.
I was wondering.
Nice.
I said, shit, this is taking longer than...
Yeah, I did that to him.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, too bad we don't have that type of creativity here anymore. You know, those are back in the days when Cameron was a person. You know what I mean? When he had a like kind of an artistic soul.
Before he went full robot.
Yeah, before he sold his soul to Mammon. All right, to the false gods of Mammon and diabetes. Okay, that's who Cameron serves these days, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we did a great creative project. I miss doing those. We definitely need to get back to that sometime sooner rather than later. But it's tricky, man. I mean, everybody's 100 miles apart or more. You know, it's about an hour and a half drive between Cameron and I. It's like an 8 or 9 or 6 or 8 hour drive between you and I.
You went from
5 hour drive up to the Rotomeyers.
You went from 8 hours away to 9 hours away. So I mean, for me, what does it matter?
No, I think I'm I'm closer to you now. I moved further south.
Yeah, but I'm not taking 75 straight to you now. So it might it might take a little longer. Yep.
You might have to come up through Jacksonville.
Yeah, and that
you know what? We should meet sometime in like St. Mary's and just go see if we can get in a bar fight with some Marines near the nuke sub base.
No.
Man, my ass whooping's quota is getting low.
Maybe 10 years ago, not now. I'm like a video game boss where his right knee is like a different color, okay, than the rest of his body, and it's like a tell, like, oh, you just hit him right there, and then you can defeat the boss. I'm like,
Mario and I were actually talking about this a little bit the other day, just kind of tongue in cheek, joking about it. But I haven't been in a bar fight since I joined the Army, and Mario can tell you from firsthand, from seeing it firsthand, it's not for lack of trying. I used to love me a recreational bar fight. Just go in a bar, have a couple drinks, and then pick a fight. Have a nice little brawl, break some furniture, buy a few new bar stools for somebody, and that's a good time. It's like a mosh pit with props.
Well, I mean, you have to understand. You kind of leveled up after you joined the Army. You went from some type of like Big Lebowski Viking hybrid, okay, where he's an imposing fellow, but he doesn't look lethal, to clean shaven meat wall. Okay, that's way scarier than Barbarian Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, apparently the SF chic just inspires fear more efficiently than the biker look.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you went exactly. You went from outlaws motif, okay, to special forces motif.
To the unit.
Definitely scarier. Mm-hmm.
So the dual citizenship thing. TPS report points out America didn't recognize dual citizenship until the Obama administration.
Really?
I'm actually not sure about that, and that's something that Mario and I are suddenly very interested to look into. I'd love to see a source on that, because that would be alarmingly news to me.
Yeah, I thought it was the Truman administration, to be honest, because that's when that other citizenship would have been created. But I could be wrong. If it was Obama, that would be that'd be an eye opener. That might change my. One might say that would definitely change my historical perspective on things for sure.
I'll ask Chet PhD. So my wife has been using the ChatGPT app on her phone. She'll go out in the garden and anything that's there that she didn't plant, she'll take a picture of it and look it up on. She calls it Chat PhD to see what it is and decide whether or not it gets the axe.
It's kill or not kill. Basically, is this on my target deck? Chat PhD.
It's the Ace of Spades, you say? The U.S. traditionally rejected dual allegiance. Naturalized citizens were expected to renounce prior nationalities. The Expatriation Act of 1868 declared that Americans had a right to renounce their citizenship, but didn't address dual nationality. 1907, loss of citizenship for foreign allegiance. Under Nationality Act of 1907, Americans could lose citizenship by voting in foreign elections. Oh shit, serving in foreign militaries or living abroad for too long. You know what? I'm down. You know what, Rosie? Nationality Act of 1940 reaffirmed that Americans lose citizenship for actions like foreign military service or swearing allegiance to another country. 67, Ephraim v. Rusk. Court ruled 5-4, government cannot revoke citizenship without the citizen's consent. And that is bullshit. We should revisit that.
Yeah.
1980, Vance versus Terrazas. The court clarified that dual citizenship is permitted, as long as a person does not voluntarily intend to give up U.S. citizenship when performing acts like applying for foreign citizenship. Excuse me. That was
push the primer, pump the primer a few times, and then pull the cord, Chris.
The U.S. State Department revised its Foreign Affairs Manual to explicitly acknowledge dual citizenship in the 1990s. So yeah, that might be worth a bit of a deep dive to study up on that. So, gotcha.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a significant subset of Congress that are in fact dual citizens. Okay,
I'd be okay with people having dual citizenship if it were explicit in the law that you cannot hold an elected office. In fact,
of course.
I would say, hey, dual citizenship, cool. Israel, dual citizenship. Canada, dual citizenship. Groovy, come on in. You cannot, and not just public office, you cannot work for government.
Yeah.
You can't be a cop. You can't be a government administrator. You can't be a fucking teacher.
Yep, 100%.
You want to come here? You want to live here and have dual citizenship? Okay. You go work for a tech mogul, go flip burgers at McDonald's. You work anywhere you want, but not in the fucking government.
Right. And it's
the idea that we have such an obvious espionage vulnerability just built into our government is infuriating to me.
Right. Yep. And I don't think it's even. I don't even think it's codified, okay, as being legal, because it's really only one country. I mean, at what point did the United States and Israel legally become the same entity? Okay, because that's what you're telling me. If we have dual citizenships, citizens, right, with Israel occupying the highest levels of government within administrations and within Congress, all right, it is. Basically, if I wanted to research this, and I will, I'm gonna look at Chuck Schumer, okay? Because Chuck Schumer's been in Congress since I was a child. All right. At what point did he become? At what point was he officially declared a dual citizen? Okay. At what point did he get citizenship with Israel? That would be he's the one that you'd want to look into to find out when that change occurred. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was the Bush administration. All right, especially after that 2003 technology sharing agreement, okay, that we signed with Israel, where it's supposed to be like exchange, right, of technology and
Instead, it's a redistribution of intellectual property wealth.
Instead it turned into look Israel, you don't even have to steal it from us anymore through espionage. We'll just give it to you because you're our greatest ally in the war on terrorism, right? So I suspect it would be around that time, and also the fact that Amex or AMX, I'm probably mispronouncing it. All right, there is an Israeli technology company that handles like something outrageous like 90% of the metadata for the telecommunications industry in the United States. All right, so if I pick up the phone and I call Chris, there is a log of that metadata, okay, in a server in Israel. Okay, it's a private company in Israel. Right. When you look at like private company in Israel, you should honestly view it the same way as private company in China. You know what I mean? It obviously has a connection to the government. It obviously has a backdoor to the Mossad, or it wouldn't be allowed. All right. Just from Israel's pure defensive perspective, where they're kind of like a small nation, okay, surrounded by enemies, any official business that is conducted within the state of Israel is going to have a government connection for national security reasons, because everything in Israel would be a national security issue. Okay. So yeah, all of our metadata is being processed by an Israeli company, and it's been like that since the early 2000s. So TPS report says then there's people like Kevin O'Leary who have citizenship here in Canada and in the Emirates. Yeah, but he's a comedian.
Yeah,
he's a comedian. I don't care about that.
Oh. The internet says that
well, this
Schumer is not a dual citizenship. It does not have dual citizenship.
You should have asked Grok this question back when for the 72 hours when Grok was Mecha Hitler.
You know, I was busy when that went down. I was busy as a squirrel trying to shit a pineapple. Yeah. I completely missed it.
You should have. Yeah, exactly. Look at every single Post-it note on your desk, and I guarantee there's like 30 of them. Ask Grok every single one of those questions for that limited time frame. Okay, Mecha Hitler abides.
Oh. So Kevin O'Leary apparently has his citizenship not in the U.S. He has it in Canada, Ireland, and the Emirates.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Microsoft.
Oh, so here's the thing. Here's the other thing about the dual citizenship thing. I'd be a hard ass, given the opportunity. I'd be a hard ass on this. If you are related to a person who has had citizenship, right? I'd probably go at least 2 generations back. If you are the first generation child of immigrants from a foreign nation, you cannot serve in government. And there's a reason for that. So one of Dad's rejoinder when I said we shouldn't have dual citizenship was, well, then you just have people renouncing their, the other half of their dual citizenship, and that doesn't change that's not going to change their fidelity. That's not going to change their loyalty, right? So if the problem is the loyalty that they have to another country, the renunciation of their dual citizenship isn't going to solve that problem. And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. So that's easy. You are at least second generation American.
Yeah. I have to make a correction. Thank you, TPS report. I confused Kevin O'Leary with Dennis Leary. Kevin O'Leary is the investor from Shark Tank. Dennis Leary is the comedian. Now, I apologize.
Sorry, I didn't mean to gloss over that. Yeah.
I'm kind of a moron. All right. But I'm ad-libbing right now, so.
Yeah, he's talking about this guy, Mr.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's right. And Pit Danny mentions that Microsoft outsourced their Defense Department computers to China. Yeah, that would have been during the Clinton administration. That would be a good subject for a Saturday special. Basically, how much we were compromised by China during the Clinton administration, right? And also, the piece that goes with that is how much of our proprietary technology Israel actually sold to China during the same period, right? The Clinton administration was basically a smash and grab operation for IP theft, especially classified IP theft within the United States. Rush Limbaugh talked about it all the time. All right, Bill Cooper talked about it all the time, and nothing was done about it. The Republicans essentially were asleep at the wheel. Well, I mean, Republicans being asleep at the wheel is kind of their standard driving procedure, as was clearly seen by Mike Johnson, essentially shutting down the Congress to avoid a vote on releasing the.
I mean, Republicans asleep at the wheel. That's why Elon dumped so much money into Trump's campaign. I mean, who else but people with jobs can afford cars that drive you while you're napping?
Nice. Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, brother. A car that will let me nap while I'm going between jobs. Yo, I routinely drive an hour to an hour and a half between more than one job in a day. If my car would just drive me there while I was napping, I'm not sure I could put a price on that.
I don't like it. Okay, I don't trust it. But if I was going to do it, I want all pretense of personal autonomy, of like personal driving autonomy, removed from it. It needs to look like an egg. Okay, from the flight of the flight of the Navigator. All right, on wheels, and I need to be basically locked in it in a horizontal position where I have no means of controlling it. So if you're going to give the machine control of your transportation, then you must fully surrender to it. All right, that's the only way. That's the only way I'll accept it. All right, because anything else is playing make believe that you have control of your destiny on the highway.
Brother, I think that's all I've got this morning.
Yeah,
I think we've gone for a stretch.
I would say so. Yeah. We're like a cat. We're like a cat, like swiping at ornaments on the Christmas tree. Like, oh, look at that!
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in this morning. I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Mario, thanks for being with us this morning. Y'all be safe out there. We love you. We will see you tomorrow.
Ciao. And all that. So it's cool.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
Yep.
Plus, fuck dual citizens.
Agreed.
Not you, Alex. You're cool. however that's rolling out for you.